back to Good Morning Quad Cities at 11. We have Craig Feb, our plants and gardens expert, and on his birthday joining us. We appreciate it. Let's continue on with the questions. What is the best flowering vine in our area?
Oh, some of the best vines are the morning glories, the moonflower vine. For a tropical, I always love the mandevilla. The climbing hydrangea is nice. Also, the climbing honeysuckles. You know, and those last two are perennial in this area. You don't have to replace them each year.
And we have Gail who asked, we have a snake plant that is dying. What's going on?
Well, any number of things. One, the first thing I always worry about is overwatering. Make sure that you're letting it dry out properly. Secondly, if it's been in the pot for a long time, maybe you actually have a mineral buildup in the soil. And what happens, the minerals build up in the soil where there are more minerals in the soil than in the plant, so the water actually runs backwards. You can have all the water available to the plant. It can't take it up because there's too many minerals in the soil. So maybe a repotting would be necessary for this plant to give it a new lease on life, fresh soil, and as always, a little more sun would never hurt.
And this one says, what to do if my weed and feed are dumped over and now has yellow spots? Is my grass dead?
It is probably dead. What it is with that extremely high dose of chemicals that have been on the lawn, it's really a matter, you could go into that area and literally remove about the top 6 to 8 inches of soil in that area, get rid of it, put it in the garden somewhere and let it mellow out, replace it with fresh soil, and then either seed or sod over the top of that. You have to get rid of that huge chemical dump, and Mother Nature will take care of it eventually, but it's going to take a while to leach those minerals out of the soil.
Well, first off, Sherry and Teresa and Steve say happy birthday.
Yeah.
And then we have, let's see, so Teresa also asked, deer are in our area. What plants are good to plant that are deer resistant?
Okay, as far as the spring flowering bulbs, the most deer resistant are the daffodils. For annuals, I always like to go with the salvia family. Salvias are basically very deer resistant. And remember, if you've got trees, you've got to remember in the fall to get some cover around the trunk so the deer don't come in and scratch all the bark off when they're cleaning their antlers.
Oh.
Yeah. This one says, what's the best perennial flowering vine in our area?
Well, you know, probably the clematis comes to mind. I mentioned the honeysuckle before, the Campsis radicans, the trumpet vine is very hardy in this area and a good bloomer once it gets established. You have to give them a little while to get established. You know, there are several vines. Those are probably the 3 most common.
And we have, is now a good time to top seed the lawn?
No problem. Remember, that seed is just going to be there until the soil warms up enough that it can germinate. So if you're overseeding, make sure that I've actually had people overseed the lawn and then they'll walk out with football spikes on.
Oh.
And they walk all over the lawn to push that seed down into the ground so it's actually still seed and not bird food for the next couple of months until the grass seed starts to germinate.
All right, get a pair of shoes like that.
Yeah. This one says, can you start a sunflower plant from the seeds in the middle of a sunflower?
Sure. Sunflowers, most of them are excuse me, self-pollinating, and you can save the seed from one year to the next, especially those great big monsters that you see, the Russian giants. Now, a lot of the newer sunflowers are hybrids, so the seed is going to be viable, but the babies are not going to look like mom because they're an F1 hybrid to begin with.
Alrighty, that's all the time we have, but thank you so much, Craig, and once again, happy birthday. Thank you for spending it here at WQAD.
And I go back to work on Sunday.
Oh, congrats.
All right.
Yeah. And treat yourself well, right, today?
So bored. Well, have a good birthday, Craig.
Thank you.
We will be right back after this break.